I recently saw a headline on one of our local news sites, and it basically said 11 busted in human trafficking operation. And when I saw that headline, what I thought about was I thought that there was probably some sort of hotel. The sheriff's department raided it. They arrested all the people in charge. There was probably some organized criminal activity going along. There were probably some women who were selling themselves against their will. And I thought to myself, wow, that's an impressive job. Good job. And then I started looking into it, and it became obvious to me what I think happened was the sheriff's department put out an ad. And when these guys responded to the ad, they got arrested for engaging in that service, the oldest service of all time. They got arrested for that and charged with the state jail felony of solicitation of a lady who sells themselves, or a guy who sells themselves, whatever it is. And so it's a good indication. Now, these guys were not trafficking. They were not trafficking anybody. They were essentially responding to an ad. There was no real person that they were trying to buy anything from. So it was an example of how law enforcement and our local media sometimes cooperate in creating a story that really doesn't exist. Now, those 11 names were published. They published those 11 names, so now their families all believe that they were engaged in human trafficking, which is horrible. Not, the less horrible, but also still bad situation of buying a woman or a guy or whatever it is, or buying services from that person. But it is incredibly misleading, and our news and our law enforcement should do a better job. Our Bexar County Sheriff's Department, San Antonio Police Department should do a better job just telling the truth of what they're actually doing, not causing this mass panic that you can see in the comments of those stories about how human trafficking has taken hold in San Antonio, which isn't the case at all. So anyway, just a good example of how our propaganda can get ahead of what is actually true.